Destiny 2 The Forsaken King, Destiny 2 Forsaken is the latest expansion of Destiny 2 and is set to change Destiny 2 in many ways. The Taken King has changed the original Destiny. But does it succeed, or does the Forsaken King, Forsaken, leave fans disappointed, similarly to what Curse of Osiris and Warmind did? As with any general expansion or DLC to a game, you'd expect new weapons, enemies, areas, a new mode perhaps, but Forsaken does that and much more. Your journey begins on a very dark tone, immediately setting the stage for this expansion. The Tangled Shore is where you take your first steps on the opening hours, and immediately you'll notice the terrible condition that is left in. Densely packed and cluttered with resources, chests and fallen, both friend and foe. The Tangled Shore isn't exactly the spectacle which was the Dreadnought in The Taken King, but it is by far the best new addition to Destiny 2. Arriving on the barren front of the Tangled Shore, I walked around and stopped for a second to take in the atmosphere. This is what Destiny 2 needed. After the poor DLC which was Curse of Osiris and Warmind, this is what Destiny 2 should have been. You immediately feel the darker tone to this expansion, and after the opening segment of the game, and in case you haven't been watching any Forsaken trailers, spoilers ahead, Cayde dies.
He didn't feel a thing.
This character has been there since the start of Destiny, and Bungie actually decided to kill off one of its main characters, immediately showing you that they're not playing around this time. This time, it's personal. The depths of the Tangled Shore aren't just filled with Fallen though, as we're presented with a new faction called the Scorn. They're essentially reskinned Fallen with elements added from other factions, which does disappoint a little bit. Sure, they do behave differently and their bosses are unique and very interesting, but it just seems like Bungie is either afraid or incapable of designing a new faction from the ground up. That said, the Scorn does present some unique challenges though. Another new location we're presented with is the Dreaming City, easily one of the most beautiful areas ever seen in Destiny. The home of the Awoken, it easily feels authentic to their race and is full of lore and history, but as with the Tangled Shore, this too is filled with enemies and obstacles. This all adds to the story of Forsaken, which is something Destiny 2 has been lacking since the start. Although this isn't groundbreaking, it certainly is a step in the right direction, which is actually a step backwards as Bungie took away what made Destiny great when they launched Destiny 2. One of the strikes I played, called the Warden of Nothing, took place in the heart of the Prison of Elders, which felt good. It felt familiar yet new. There is also an activity on the Dreaming City called the Blind Well, which is very similar to Warmind's Escalation Protocol, but just much more fun and engaging. As for the new raid though, it only goes live in a couple of days, so I cannot comment on that at this moment. One of the new modes added is called Gambit, which is a PvP/PvE mode where you are in a team of 4 versus 4, sending waves of enemies towards your opponents, as well as having an opportunity to invade their map. Once you've reached the maximum points, a boss is summoned and the first team that kills their boss wins that round. It's fun yet challenging, but certainly addictive. The new bow weapons are enjoyable and the grind is still there for those who enjoy it, but it is now made much more rewarding even to new players. There is still so much to explore in Forsaken even after finishing the campaign, which took me longer than the initial game of Destiny 2, and did I mention that your Guardian actually speaks this time?
I refuse to bury any more friends.
You won't have to. Uldren Sov is mine.
Destiny 2 Forsaken added many elements to the game, especially those concerning community requests, and fixed many of the main concerns which caused Destiny 2 to drop in player base. This is an expansion which many players, old and new, will enjoy, and certainly is the punch that Destiny 2 needed to get back on track. I would say that Destiny 2 Forsaken is certainly worth buying at a full price, and had I put a score on this, I'd rate it a 7.5 out of 10. It is important to note that you do require Warmind and Curse of Osiris in order to play Forsaken, but if you're a new player, it's easier to buy the bundled version instead. Is Forsaken ultimately Destiny 2's The Taken King? Well, the answer to that is simple. Yes. Yes it is, but the problem to that answer is the fact that it should never have been there to begin with. The Taken King fixed Destiny, and Bungie undid most of that with Destiny 2 only to fix it again in Forsaken. Just something to keep in mind. I'd like to thank Activision and Megarom for providing me with a review code, and for more gaming reviews, click that subscribe button and check out the rest of my channel. If you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the Red Tie Guy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.